Economic Forum founder and world's #1 Dr. Strangelove impersonator, Klaus Schwab, asked his fellow globalists a question during a recent summit about the stumbling blocks that are preventing their beneficent, all-loving Great Reset agenda from coming to fruition, which fact-checkers have graciously reassured us has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with a secret plan by powerful technocrats to make themselves more powerful. And what possible reason could we have to doubt their sincerity? But answering Schwab's question, this was the response from one of the panelists.
At Davos a few years ago, the Edelman survey showed us that the good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more. So we can come together and design and do beautiful things together. The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less. So we can lead, but...
That's Neri Woods, Professor of Global Economic Governance at the University of Oxford. The comments were actually made at the World Economic Forum's Great Narrative Conference back in November, although the clip you just saw is going viral on Twitter right now.
The majority of people trusted that elite less.
Ordinary people not trusting the elite? Oh no, how dreadful. How could that possibly be? Could it have anything to do with the fact that the ultra-rich elite used the pandemic to enact the biggest wealth transfer in history, widening wealth inequality to levels never seen before, as they raked in vast profits while small businesses went bust? In the UK alone, lockdown pushed 900,000 people into poverty, while the rich got 54% richer. Could it have anything to do with elitists in countries across the world brazenly flouting the very same lockdown restrictions that they demanded be imposed on everyone else, creating a new servant class of mask-wearing mutes while they parted it up totally maskless? Could it have anything to do with the elite buying remote luxury properties, in some cases entire islands, to further distance themselves from the general public, while we were told we weren't allowed to leave our tiny houses and apartments? Could it have anything to do with the elite pressuring big tech to smear, silence and deplatform prominent people who questioned the corona narrative? Could it have anything to do with elitists laboriously lecturing us about our living standards, energy consumption and travel habits, after having arrived to do so on fleets of CO2 spewing private jets? Could it have anything to do with those who ask such questions being belittled, demonized and treated like trash? Also, referring to yourselves as the elite sounds pretty weird.
The elite.
Sounds like something a creepy aristocratic bad guy in an old Bond movie would say. And maybe, just maybe, that's why people don't trust you.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Hey, Shalom Akim. Koholaim La, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawadah. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwah that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatha. Right, so I just shared with y'all the opening of a video done by the beloved brother in the GMS camp. Goes by the YouTube page LA-Yeshaya 4 LA-Yeshaya 4, and you know, he did an excellent lesson on this. I was listening to it this morning on my way to work, and you know, I wanted to come and do a lesson on that. You know, pretty much land back on what he was saying, but what's something that he said specifically had stirred up the spirit in me. Wanted me to do this once I got back from the plantation, right? And he mentioned how the elites was trying to get into the spiritual world, tampering with the spiritual realm through their colloidal system, right? over in CERN and whatnot, and they received a message. They received a message that was interpreted back, and it said Tekel, right? And that's what stirred up the spirit for me to do this lesson, right? So the name of this lesson is going to be, can you restore the balance? Right? Can you restore the balance? And listen, I'm talking to you, Esau. I'm talking to you, Esau, Edom. Can you restore the balance? You see? You see, these Edomites have they've done a lot of damage. They've done a lot of damage on this planet, right? And they've rejoiced over it. You know, namely, they've rejoiced over the fall of the Israelites. They rejoiced over our downfall. They rejoiced over our pain and suffering. They've rejoiced over the great riches and wealth that they've accumulated throughout the world, right? They have so much wealth where they can purchase multiple planets. You see what I'm saying? That's how much wealth that they've amassed in their crooked system. Right, as the scriptures say in James chapter 5, you know what I'm saying? This wicked system that they have established that gives them more wealth, and they have built up this wealth for the day of judgment. You know what I'm saying? Right? Their gold and their silver, you know what I'm saying? All of it is cankered. All of it's cankered. You see? As it's written in the book of Psalms, 73rd chapter. These are the wicked. They increase in riches, right? They increase in riches through what? Through their wickedness. Through their wickedness, man. You know? And like I said, this is coming from that brother LA-Yeshaya 4. You know, once again, this is his page. Okay, you can see that up there. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Lord willing, as a matter of fact, Lord willing, I'll send a link to his channel, you know, in the description box, if I remember, Lord willing. But you know, let's get into this lesson, man. Can you restore the balance? Right? And so we can go into the book of Daniel. Let's start there. Right. So I'm going to start off in the book of Daniel, chapter 5, verse 19. And it says, "And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, whom he would, he slew, and whom he would, he kept alive, and whom he would, he set up, and whom he would, he put down." Right? This is sounding a lot like Esau Edom today, man. That's why the you know, the the country known as America, right, is equated to Babylon. Right? The nation of America is equated to Babylon for a specific reason. The reason why is because so many of its practices, so many of the customs, so much of the spirit of Babylon is heavily upon this nation known as America. That's why it's called Mystery Babylon, right? Or the daughter of Babylon. That's why it's called that. It's because it takes on these different customs and these different philosophies, right? Why does it say? It says, "And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him," right? What's this great empire that we're dealing with today in 2022, right? We're dealing with this empire, America, right? And although it's in the decline right now, and it's close to getting up out of here, right? It doesn't stop it from being the empire that we're dealing with in these last days, right? So this is the comparison right here. Verse 20, it says, "But when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, He was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at Esau's pride right now. You know what I'm saying? And his pride was equated to the king of Babylon back then. Except Esau's on a whole different level. A whole nother level. You see what I'm saying? A whole nother level. When it says they have control over all people, nations, and languages, bro. You see what I'm saying? Every nation on the planet needs to have a second language, and that second language needs to be English. You see what I'm saying? If you want to do any commerce with good old America, the U.S. of A. You see what I'm saying? But that's that pride. That's that pride right there. As it says in the book of Habakkuk, you know, his soul that is lifted up is not upright in him. You know, and he heaps together all nations, right? All people. Let me get that real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That sounds directly reminiscent of what this scripture right here in Daniel chapter 19, right? Where it's describing the king of Babylon. For the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Okay, so let's continue down to verse 21. It says, And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God, the Most High Power, Yahawah, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will. You see? And Esau is close to that point of being abased. He's close to that point of being brought low, right? As the scriptures say, he has brought down the high tree. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about Esau being taken away from his throne, from his rulership. You see? Let's see, verse 22, it says, And thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this. You see, Belshazzar knew that his father was abased, that his father was brought down to the level of animals. He knew about this, and he knew who did it. Out of his father's own mouth, out of his father's own confession, he knew this. That it was the Most High Power of the Israelites that brought him down this low. But what happened? It said, and thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart. That's sounding a lot like Esau. That's sounding a lot like Esau Edom, right? Look at this cracker right here. Look at his eyes. You see? Like I said, they've rejoiced over the fall of Israel. They've rejoiced over all the riches that they've amassed. They've rejoiced and they've destroyed and they boasted about it. Right? They boasted about it. They laughed about it. They've enjoyed. They've enjoyed. You see? And then what? Now they got the nerve to talk about everything's falling apart. Now we're gonna need a great reset. You know what I'm saying? The nerve of these crackers, right? The nerve of these devils. But let's continue. Verse 23, it says, But hast lifted up thyself against Yahawah, the Lord of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drunk wine in them. And thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold and brass and iron and wood and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know. and the God of whose hand thy breath is, and the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Right? Verse 24 says, and then was the part of the hand sent from him. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. Check this. It says, and this is the writing that was written. Mene, mene, tekel afarsan. Mene, mene, tekel afarsan. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene. The Lord has numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel. Thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. 28. Perez. Thy kingdom is divided and given into Medes and Persians. You see what I'm saying? And this is what's going to happen, man. The Most High, that's what's happening right now. The Most High is dividing this place. He's dividing this place known as America, which is spiritually Sodom, which is spiritually Egypt, which is spiritually Babylon. You see what I'm saying? The daughter of Babylon, mystery Babylon. This is it. This is it. And this is why they got this is why they got that message over in CERN saying Tekel. It's time for the balances to be weighed. And this is the question, Esau. Can you restore the balance? You see? And the answer is no. You can't restore no balance according to your so-called Great Reset. You can't do it. You can't do it because even every solution that you come across, that you're coming with, every solution is what? It's off. It's folly. It's foolishness. It's foolishness. How the hell are you going to destroy the air you breathe, the food you eat, so on and so forth, for the sake of you maintaining your rulership? How does that make sense to you? You see what I'm saying? But it truly does make sense to these people. That's the thing. That's the reason why the Most High placed it upon the Apostle Paul to put in his writings in Romans chapter 9. They are the vessels that are fitted for destruction. They are the vessels that's fitted for destruction, man, because they can't do right. They go off in every turn. Right? As the scriptures say, if he does good, he does it unwillingly. He ain't trying to do good because he just cares about life. No, man. He's trying to kill off billions of people. God damn it. You see what I'm saying? This guy is not for your turn. Many tekel. Right? Ufarsin. It said, actually, there's some notes. There were some notes I wanted to touch on in my Bible, according to the scholars, because the scholars know. You see what I'm saying? The scholars know what's up. And so they say, they're breaking down some of the words. It's many. Many, it says from mena, to number, is repeated for emphasis. God has numbered the days of the Babylonian kingdom. Right? When these jokers got that message, right? What did it say? It said right here, here's a note for Tekel. For Tekel. It says from Tekal, to weigh, indicates that the kingdom has been morally evaluated by Most High. Indicating that the kingdom has been morally evaluated by the Most High and found lacking. Morally evaluated. Morally evaluated. What does it say in the book of Revelations? Right? It says that this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And what did the Most High do to both of them kingdoms? He destroyed them utterly. You see what I'm saying? He destroyed them utterly. Let me read that again. It says, to weigh indicates that the kingdom has been morally evaluated by the Most High and found lacking. Right? What's it say under Perez? Perez, it says to divide. Right? Persians comes from Paras. It is a prediction that the kingdom is to be divided and given to the Persians. Well, what's going on right now, man? There's a division amongst the people in America. There's a heavy division going on, man. As it is written, it's going to happen in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. Right? Everyone's going to be set against each other. Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, right? So let's get that. Isaiah chapter 19. All right. Isaiah 19, verse 2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." What did Yahawah say? Right? In Matthew's, Matthew's 34 and 10? Let's get that. Matthew's 30. Oh, Slocky. Matthew 10:34, I believe. Yeah, got that mixed up. Slocky. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, it says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her father-in-law, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household." Okay? Let's get a precept to that. Let's go to Salaki for that. That was so that was Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 51. It says, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division." You see, the Most High is sending His Son to divide. He's sending His Son to divide, man. What's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? When the Lamb comes back, what's going to happen? Is going to be everybody coming back together? You know, coming together with in harmony and whatnot? No. You see? So many tekel ufarsin. Right, so let's look for that. Let's go back to Daniel, the 5th chapter. All right, Daniel, the 5th chapter. Okay, so let's go to the notes and all right. And what did these scholars say about a fasin? A fasin is Arabic for and as in Hebrew, it is the plural of Perez. It is the plural of Perez, and the word Perez means means to divide. Perez means to divide. Ufarsin is the plural version of Perez. So that means division. Multiple division. Right? So when we read many tekel afarsin, what's it saying? You know, what's it saying? It's saying number. Right? Number the weight for division. Many tekel afarsin. Number the weight for division. Number that weight to divide it. To divide that weight. It says, "Thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting." So let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. You see, the same way we was able to piece that together, man. It was all written in the scriptures long ago. It says what? Ecclesiastes. I went to Ezekiel, Salaki. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. It says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. And that's exactly why we're able to see the parallels right here, you know what I'm saying, between the son of Nebuchadnezzar, right, being compared to the Edomites here in America. The level of pride, even though they know from experiences experiences and examples from the past, even though these Edomites know that, they are still prideful. The same way the son of Nebuchadnezzar was knowledgeable of how the Most High abased his father and brought him lower than the animals, because it says that the animals was feeding them grass, right? Even though the son knew that, he still lifted himself up in pride. You see, this is a clear comparison. Okay, so let's jump to the 3rd chapter, and let's read verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every assigned to every purpose under the sun," right, or under the heavens. Let me read that again. "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up." You see? And the Most High has built up this nation for the sole purpose of what's going to happen to it soon. It's about to be broken down, right? The time to break down and the time to build up. These are the times that we're looking at, right? Can you restore the balance, Esau? And that is a resounding no. No, you can't do it, man. You can't do it. Because his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, man. Ain't nothing upright in this damn devil, man. You see, that's why he can't do good. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." And this is not a just weight. This ain't no just weight. Look at how Esau's handling things. This ain't just. This is wickedness on every level. On every level, this is wickedness. This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 11. Proverbs 16:11, it says, "A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his works." You see? All of it is his works. It's all his doing. You see? What's the saying in the book of Daniel? We just read it. Chapter 5. It said, "For the Most High buildeth up kings, and he takes down kingdoms. He rules in the kingdoms of men." This is his work. And he's about to take down what was unprofitable. You can't restore this balance, man. You can't restore this balance. You done destroyed the oceans. You got whales. You got all these sea creatures bleaching themselves. How the hell you find something all the way 1,000 feet deep under the ocean go and beach itself? How does that happen? You see what I'm saying? Those deep sea ocean creatures ain't even supposed to be on that level up in the ocean to even be beached. Come on, man. This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Ain't nobody in no happy place out here, man. Nobody. Nobody's happy. Nobody's enjoying life. You see? Nobody's enjoying life. You walk away from a long day of work, and you don't get your paycheck that same night. No, you gotta wait to the end of the week Some places you got to wait for 2 weeks at a time to get your check. Sometimes even more if you're working on salary. You see what I'm saying? That's not righteous. That's wicked. You're supposed to get paid for your work by the end of the day. That's righteous. And you're supposed to have it taxed, neither. It's not supposed to be taxed. But when you look at this devil's system, you can understand why he's called the devil. You see? So let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59. The Most High loves righteous balance. He loves a righteous balance, man. This is Isaiah 59 verse 15. It says, "Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahawah saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment." And the Most High delights in judgments, as the scriptures read. The Most High delights in judgment. Let's jump up. How about this? Let's jump up to verse 4. It says, "None called for for judgment. Salakia. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity." That's Esau, Edom to the T, to the letter. Right? These devils can't restore no kind of balance, man. They were built to bring imbalance. That's what their mission was. That's what their whole purpose is. So let's end this off with the book of Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the people shall be inhabited." This is an unwise king. You see? This is an unwise king who destroyed his people. He destroyed the land. He destroyed the properties. He destroyed everything. He took land masses for his own, for his own purposes. Like you look at the beginning of the video, right? Look at the beginning of the video. They got whole islands to themselves. You see? An entire island to themselves, man. And you sitting here saying that these people are righteous? No. While a nigga gotta stay in this tiny little home, you know what I'm saying, or in the projects, where my apartment is right next to your apartment, and your apartment is right next to the next guy's apartment. No, man. No, the scriptures say what? We ain't supposed to have our homes so close to each other. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We supposed to have some breathing space. But these jokers get entire islands. Verse 4 says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." And we can't wait for the one that is profitable to return. You see what I'm saying? And we, Lord willing, I be among the number, man. We will be joint heirs with Yahawah Mashiach and his rulership. That's what we're looking for. All right, so I pray this lesson was edifying, man. I want to say, call Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.
She still lives. I want to hear her scream. one of the chosen. I can grant your every wish. Can you restore the balance?